So one team the Knicks beat last night, right? And the Denver Nuggets, they've fallen off a cliff in some ways. Now they're still the number one seed by 3.5 games. Denver has lost 5 of their last 6 games. And as a Nuggets fan, you can see the Jokic jersey in the back. You're gonna ask the question, what's going on here? We've actually built a little bit of a Jokic following on this podcast, which I love. I've talked about all the time on my YouTube channel. The issue in Denver, to no one's surprise, has been defense. The last 6 games, they have given up in points per 100 possessions 125, 106 versus the Pistons, the worst team in basketball. They're a joke of an offense. They got Killian Hayes at that point. 136 to the Toronto Raptors, which is hideous. 128 to the Brooklyn Nets. 122 to the Spurs, who you lost to. And 115 to the Toronto Raptors. You won that game. Since they played in Memphis earlier this month on the 3rd, they have not looked the same defensively. They aren't trying, and offensively, it's been a little bit harder to play when the opposing team is just getting that momentum sooner. They're getting more shots to go in, and they're getting more and more juice, a little bit more confidence. The question is, are the Nuggets a fraudulent number one seed? Are they a team that we should expect to go to the finals? And if not, can we look at them as, or can we look at the Western Conference and just say, hey, look, Denver has been the beneficiary of one of the worst West we've seen in the last couple of decades. Maybe, is this the worst Western Conference in terms of the top end talent we've seen in the last like 40, 50 years? It's
No, no. I just think that this Western Conference is one of the most inconsistent Western conferences we've seen because we came into the season saying the West is back, but then the West just got hit with a lot of the teams just dealt with things that were out of their hands. The Clippers were the same old story was, injuries and continuity. The Warriors just did not look the same on the road we still haven't figured out why, and they dealt with injuries throughout the season. You got the Lakers who've, in LeBron and AD have been in and out, and they had to deal with Russell Westbrook earlier in the season. You got all these teams, and I'm probably missing some. We just talked about the Pelicans with Zion.
the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors. Yep. It's been an inconsistent whirlwind for the West. But as for the Nuggets, man, I was looking at it earlier. Yeah, their defense. Maybe their team defense is rated high or something for the entire league, but when you look individually, I mean, Jamal Murray still coming off the torn ACL. He was a good defender when he was healthy, but he's still recovering, so he's not going to be the same player right now. You got to give him a little bit more time. Everybody knows the defense is the thing that takes the longest to get back. I mean, Klay Thompson's the perfect example of that. So you got to wait for him to get back. Jokic, we all know Jokic is not a good defender, and he doesn't really try at all, and he's really limited with his lack of athleticism, to be honest with you. Then you've got Michael Porter Jr. He ain't no goddamn defender. He's somebody you want to attack on defense. You got Aaron Gordon, who might try his ass off, but he's not a good defender either. KCP is the guy on the in the starting lineup that you're like is the 3-and-D guy. But he's not a Tony Allen or something like that. He's a good defender. He can get the job done, KCP, but he's not some great time defender. Go ahead.
I do want to correct you. I agree with everything you said. Aaron Gordon is a good defender. He's got the size, the physical tools, and he's got the motor. It's just a matter of, individually make a great point. They're only good defenders, like clear plus, are AG, KCP, Bruce Brown, and Christian Brown, the rookie out of Kansas, who's their seventh man off the bench, but his offensive game just hasn't been utilized correctly in their lineups. So I just want to add that point.
Yeah, but it's just like when we get to the playoffs, we all know it's you really rely on a 7-man. Sometimes they go 8-man lineup, and it's mostly your starting 5 that you really depend on. They played the majority, 35, 38 minutes. So when you got the Nuggets out there, I mean, all right, fine. If you want to bump Aaron Gordon from a serviceable defender to a good defender, that's fine. That's still not. It's just like KCP and Aaron Gordon are your guys on defense. it's not looking good, especially when you've got guys like Jamal Murray who can get taken advantage of because of his injury, still coming back from getting healthy, Michael Porter Jr. and Jokic. That's not looking good. So I do have to bring this up though. I do feel with their struggles of late, the MVP race is opened back up. I think it's a real. I thought it was done, but listen, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. That's 3-man race right there. It's going to come down to close. You can start making the arguments now because right now Philly and Milwaukee both have better records than Denver. So Giannis is outscoring Jokic by about 7 points, I think. Embiid's outscoring him almost by 10 points. Obviously, Jokic has got the assist. It's 9.9 now, though. It's not the beautiful 10 that everybody likes. Embiid's shooting better from the free throw line.
Jokic is way more efficient than them,
64% from the field. Yeah, I know, 39% from three, which is great for a big man. But then again, you got Embiid on the defense, who I think is averaging close to 2 steals a game and over a block a game. So you give and take with all that stuff. I'm telling, it's gonna be, it's opening back up. I think I really do think the discussion is opened back up with their struggles as of late.
I think so. I wouldn't say that Denver is a fraudulent number 1 seed. I'll say a vulnerable one, that's for sure. Going into the season, I think we all expected Denver to be a contender in the West, regardless of how strong we viewed the West going into the season. Yeah, defense is a problem, but there are plenty of teams in the West that have defensive problems. I mean, forget defensive problems, health problems too. So I wouldn't say fraudulent. I think teams like Sacramento are making themselves very, you know, open in this conversation of who's a true contender in the West. I think Phoenix, once they get Kevin Durant back, whenever he shows up, might change your mind. Same with Ja Morant. So I wouldn't say I think Denver's still in a decent spot. Just a cold spell. It's March right now. If you get hot come April, you'd probably be talking about this Denver team a little different.
Last year's defending champions, the Warriors, are under 500 to end the season. And a team like Philadelphia always goes in these heaters every single year. They always lose in the second round. So with Denver, are they fraudulent? No. We know who the Nuggets are. But there's one issue with the Nuggets not enough people outside the market of Denver talk about. And that's Michael Malone. Michael Malone did the most important thing. That was building his offense around Nikola Jokic in his second season. Bravo. Malone's one of the better coaches in the league. But to win at the highest levels, your coach needs to be a little bit more than just one of the better coaches in the league. Rotationally, the Nuggets have been a mess. I look at Christian Braun, who I talked about before. He's Alex Caruso with hair. The issue is offensively, he's not much of a shooter. He's made like probably 10 threes this season. He can shoot it. There's no reason he shouldn't be playing every single minute with Jokic. Because when you pair up a really good cutter and a smart off-ball player with Nikola, he's going to get them going. He's going to get them good looks. He's going to feed them. He's going to find them. Defensively, Brown is really the perfect backup to Aaron Gordon. Malone needs to get this rotation stuff figured out. But he does. The reason why Jokic's advanced stats look so pretty, this is why a lot of people love to hate on him, don't understand. Malone will usually go to these bench lineups where it's just one starter and then 4 reserves. The Nuggets don't have a good bench. You have Bruce Brown, who often starts around MPJ, Brown, and then Jeff Green, and that's it. That's all you got. That's it. Thomas Bryant hasn't been good. Reggie Jackson's not making shots. You can't play them in the playoffs. So not only do you have a lack of depth, you have a coach not utilizing that top-end talent collectively well enough. Offensively, the Nuggets are phenomenal. They get enough shots at the rim. They have the best playmaking hub in basketball. They have scoring from all 3 position groups, and they have infinite shooting off the catch. Amazing offensively, but in the playoffs, the same way the Kings have the worst rim protection in the NBA, and we'll talk about them in a bit, the Kings are very limited. The Nuggets are also limited because Jokic, for as much as he may have great moments defensively, he's average. He's an average defender. And in regular season games where he's not trying, he's a bad defender. He's been bad defensively this year. He's coasted in, he's mailed it. The MVP race is Embiid's lose. He's now the MVP frontrunner. Partially because, as a Jokic fan, I'm tired of people trying to tear the guy down. We're watching 2 generational centers, and all people want to do is just break them apart. I think that's inconsiderate and irresponsible. Irresponsible is the only way you can put it. People won't appreciate Jokic's greatness, his playmaking, his efficiency, and really his selflessness. Most selfless superstar I've seen since Steph and Tim Duncan. That's how we should view him, not this fraudulent MVP. And so I just want to get that out of the way. Embiid has played enough games this year. The Sixers are on a roll. Give him it. He deserves it. So then when he gets knocked down in the second rounds, of people, I guess, I don't really care about what people say. But, Embiid also has never made it to the conference finals. And he's had actual all-star teammates many different times. Jokic has never had that. So I want people to come correct. He makes this a 50-win caliber team. Now, they've fallen off recently, but you can't put that on Jokic. That his team doesn't have a bench. Their head coach hasn't made the best lineups. And the third thing is he doesn't have the most defensive support. We'll talk about the Kings in a little bit. Do you guys think the Nuggets this year come out the West?
I'll tell you this. Listen, I'm still riding. Like if right now they're number one, I think they're gonna finish number one. But I'm telling you, man, if they match up with the healthy Lakers in the first round, that could be very much trouble for the Denver Nuggets. A healthy AD, LeBron, D'Angelo Russell.
Playoff choke artist?
Who's the playoff choke artist?
Elo.
But he's not asked to be the main guy. That LeBron and AD are there.
He wasn't the main guy in Minnesota either. And
Yeah, but
last
you're
year in the
playing with
playoffs,
the-
he was idiots.
You're probably playing with the greatest teammate of all time in LeBron James at the same time. So
We've seen players play poorly with that
He has
greatest
to be the
teammate of all
third-
time in the
he has to be
playoffs.
the-
That's Kyle Kuzma.
We have
Who's running
seen-
out of town.
We have.
fair.
But still, I think, who's guarding LeBron on Denver?
Aaron Gordon, he's actually a great matchup for Brown.
Right.
Phenomenal.
Who's
I have to
guarding
admit.
AD?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jokic is. Yeah, good luck with that. And AD can guard Jokic on the other end. If AD's motor is running high and he's freaking motivated and he's ready to play, AD can guard Jokic. He matches up well with Jokic, I should say. He's not going to stop him. Maybe he can give him one bad game, but he can make it hard and make him work for those buckets. So I'm just saying they match up well, very well.
I would love to see that as a first round matchup. Oh, that would get so exciting. But for me, no, I don't have Denver coming out of the West. I'm sticking with my pick. If Kevin Durant is healthy, I'm still going to roll with the Suns.
You guys, man,
That's what I'm saying, man. I didn't say they're not. I'm just right now I can't pick because of Denver's recent struggles and their excuse me, their defensive struggles. Sacramento, I still don't believe that they're there yet, but they might be able to sneak in because of how inconsistent and wobbly this West is. Memphis, I don't see it. Phoenix, again, the KD, is he going to come back? And when he is back, is he going to look the same? We expect him to because he has the last two times, but third time's the charm. Maybe in reverse this time. The Clippers, they're still dealing with stuff, and I'm not a big fan of the Westbrook move. I don't think that it adds for them. I think it takes away. Dallas, they're still dealing with they got no defense, and Luka's injured right now. Golden State, inconsistent. Minnesota, inconsistent and no cat. LA, they need LeBron back. We don't know how healthy he is. All those teams have big questions. So the West is really open. It really is.